Chapter 1: A Birthday Surprise. In the quiet suburban neighborhood where Ethan lived, birthdays were a big deal, especially for a child turning 8. For weeks leading up to his birthday, Ethan has been buzzing with excitement, eagerly marking off days in the calendar in his room. Each morning brought him closer to the day he had been dreaming about, filled with cake, presents, and laughter. And his parents had always made his birthday special. This year, however, there was an air of mystery around his gift. His parents whispered and exchanged knowing smiles, heightening Ethan's curiosity. He tried guessing, but they only responded with playful shrugs and cryptic hints. The night before his birthday, Ethan lay in bed, unable to sleep. His room, adorned with posters of superheroes and distant galaxies, felt more alive in the moonlit silence. He imagined all sorts of gifts: a new bike, the latest video game, or maybe a trip to his favorite amusement park. But deep down, he hoped for something different, something alive and warm. He had always wanted a pet, a companion to play and share his adventures with. As dawn broke on his birthday, Ethan sprang out of bed. The house was already stirring with preparations. Balloons and streamers adorned the living room, and the sweet aroma of baking cake filled the air. His parents greeted him with hugs and a cheerful, "Oh, happy birthday!" But the elusive present was nowhere to be seen. The morning passed with a blur of excitement. Relatives and friends arrived, each bearing gifts and well wishes. The living room overflowed with laughter and chatter, forming a symphony of celebration. But Anthony's eyes kept wandering to the empty space beneath the birthday banner, where the mysterious gift was supposed to appear. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, his parents called for quiet. They brought out a medium-sized, ribbon-adorned box and placed it gently in front of Ethan. The room fell silent with anticipation. Heart and arm raced as he carefully untied the ribbon and lifted the lid. Inside the box, nestled among soft blankets, was a tiny poodle puppy, its curly fur shade of warm apricot. The puppy looked up at Ethan with big, curious eyes, and in that moment, a wave of pure joy washed over him. It was more than he had ever imagined. Ethan gently lifted the puppy out of the box. Feeling its soft fur and gentle heartbeat, the puppy licked his face, eliciting laughter and applause from the gathered crowd. Ethan looked up at his parents, his eyes shining with gratitude. They smiled back, knowing they had made the right choice. That day, as the party continued with cake and games, Ethan had a new friend by his side. He introduced the puppy to everyone, feeling a sense of pride and happiness. The puppy, which seemed just as pleased with the new environment, played along, charming everyone it met. As the sun set and the guests departed, Ethan sat in his room with the puppy, now officially named Nettie. He knew that this was the beginning of something special, a bond that would grow stronger with each passing day. That night, as Ethan drifted off to sleep, Buddy curled up beside him. And for the first time, Ethan felt like he had found a true companion. The room filled with gasps and delighted exclamations as Ethan tenderly held the poodle puppy. His parents watched with a blend of relief and joy, knowing their gift was a hit. "Happy birthday, Ethan," Mother said softly. We knew you wanted a pet, and when we saw this little guy, we just knew he was perfect for you. And still in Argent is struggling to learn itself. A puppy, a bundle of energy and curiosity, wiggled in his arms, eager to explore its new surroundings. And then his friends crowded around, eager to pet and play with the new arrival. The puppy, basking in the attention, performed an impromptu dance, its tiny paws paddling the air. Amidst the excitement, Edmund's father brought out a small set of balls, a leash, and a fluffy bed. Every adventurer needs his gear, he joked, placing them next to Ethan. Adam's smile widened. He was ready to embark on this new journey with his furry friend. As the party continued, a puppy became the center of attention. It scampered around the room, chasing balls and playfully nibbling on the offered toys. Eden's friends were enamored, each taking turns holding and cuddling the little poodle. Laughter and joyful shouts filled the house, creating a lively, festive atmosphere. Eden's parents captured these moments in photos, knowing these memories would be cherished for years to come. They observed Ethan with the puppy, seeing a new side of their son emerge. He was gentle, responsible, and radiated happiness. It was a heartwarming sight. As the afternoon sun dipped lower, the guests began to depart, each leaving with stories of the adorable poodle and wishes of many happy returns to Ethan. With the house quieting down, Ethan sat on the living room floor, the puppy nestled in his lap. He gazed at it with wonder and affection, a bond already forming between them. The poodle, now tired from the day's excitement, yawned and curled up against Ethan, its small chest rising and falling in a rhythmic pattern. Ethan and once joined him on the floor, encircling the duo in a family hug. He's going to be a pet companion for him. Ethan. As the evening settled in, Ethan thought about the adventures he and his new puppy would have. He imagined walks in the park, treks to the beach. The puppy, sensing the calm, drifted off to sleep, its trust in Ethan evident. The unveiling of the poodle was more than just a revelation of a birthday gift. It was the start of a lifelong friendship, a journey of growth and learning for both Ethan and his poodle. As the day came to an end, Ethan knew one thing for sure. This was the best birthday ever. The first night with Buddy, the newly named poodle, brought a mix of emotions for Ethan. While he was thrilled to have a puppy, he also felt a twinge of nervousness. He had never been responsible for another living being before, and the weight of this responsibility began to settle in as the excitement of the day waned. Terence noticed his apprehension and sat down with him to discuss what having a pet meant. They told me about the importance of regular feeding, walks, and training. They emphasized the need for patience and kindness, explaining how Buddy would rely on Ethan for care and companionship. His parents assured him that they would be there to guide and support him, but also made it clear that Buddy was primarily his responsibility. That evening, as Ethan prepared Buddy's bed and filled his water bowl, he felt a sense of pride. He was determined to be the best pet owner he could be. Buddy, exploring his new home, would occasionally pause to look up at Ethan, as if sense his commitment. The house, quieted down for the night, and Ethan made Buddy to his bedroom. He had set up a cozy corner for Buddy with a new dog bed and some toys. At first, Buddy seemed hesitant, sniffing around the unfamiliar environment. Ethan gently encouraged him, showing him his bed and offering a soft toy. As Ethan got ready for bed, he kept an eye on Buddy. The little poodle, after a few moments of exploration, settled into his bed, but his eyes followed Ethan everywhere. It was clear that a strong bond was already forming between them. Ethan climbed into bed, his mind racing with thoughts about the future with Buddy. He imagined teaching him tricks, going on walks, and introducing him to other dogs in the neighborhood. The possibilities seemed endless, and extra nervousness gave way to a feeling of eagerness for the days ahead. However, as the night deepened, Buddy grew restless. He whimpered softly, missing the warmth and familiarity of his previous home. Ethan, hearing the soft cries, got out of bed and approached Buddy. He remembered his parents saying that the first few nights might be tough for a new puppy. Ethan decided to stay near Buddy, talking softly to him and stroking his fur. Gradually, Buddy's whimpers subsided, and he began to relax. Ethan too felt a comforting calmness wash over him. In that quiet night, a silent promise was made between the boy and his poodle, a promise of friendship, care, and unconditional love. As the first rays of morning light crept through the curtains, Ian and Buddy were asleep on the floor side by side. The initial hesitations of the previous night had transformed into a confident excitement about the journey they were about to embark upon together. The task of naming the poodle was a significant one for Ethan. He wanted a name that was special and meaningful, something that would capture the essence of his new friend. The day after his birthday, Ethan sat with the puppy in the garden, pondering over the right name. Ethan considered various names as he watched the puppy play. He thought about names from his favorite books and movies, but none seemed to fit perfectly. The puppy was playful yet gentle, with a sense of curiosity in his bright eyes. Ethan wanted a name that reflected these traits. As the puppy frolicked around the garden, chasing butterflies and sniffing at flowers, Ethan's mind raced through names. Max, no, too common. Charlie, maybe, but not quite right. The puppy paused and looked up at Ethan, as if waiting for his decision. Efren's parents joined him in the garden, curious about the name he would choose. They suggested a few names, but Ethan was determined to make this decision on his own. It was a way of strengthening his bond with the poodle. Then, as Ethan watched, the puppy playfully tumbled in the grass, and name came to him. Buddy, he said aloud. The puppy's ears perked up, and he trotted over to Ethan, wagging his tail. It seemed to Ethan that the puppy liked the name. Buddy, Ethan repeated, and the puppy barked happily in response. It was a simple name, but filled with warmth and affection. A chance smiled in agreement. Buddy it is, his mother said, and a perfect name for your new best friend. Ethan spent the rest of the day getting to know Buddy better. He taught him to respond to his name, and they played games in the garden. With each passing hour, the bond between them grew stronger. Buddy was more than just a pet. He was a companion, a playmate, and a source of unconditional love. That evening, as Ethan prepared for bed, Buddy followed him around, his little tail wagging. Ethan realized that naming Buddy was the first step in their shared journey. It was an acknowledgement of the friendship that would grow and evolve over time. As they settled down for the night, Ethan whispered, "Good night, Buddy," and the little poodle curled up at the foot of his bed, content and secure in his new home. The name that had sealed the bond between them, a fitting naming for a friendship that promised to be as enduring as it was joyful. The first night together for Ethan and Buddy was a memorable experience, filled with new discoveries and the deepening of their bond. After deciding on the name they named for his poodle, Ethan spent the evening preparing for their first night together. He set up a cozy sleeping area for Buddy in his room, complete with a soft bed and a few chew toys. As bedtime approached, Ethan noticed Buddy's apprehensive behavior. The little poodle seemed uneasy in the new environment, its eyes darting around the room, taking in the unfamiliar sights and sounds. Ethan understood that this was a big change for Buddy, and he was determined to make him feel safe and loved. Ethan decided to keep his bedroom lights dim and played some soft music to create a calming atmosphere. He lay down on the floor next to Buddy's bed, talking to him in a gentle voice, reassuring him that he was not alone. Gradually, Buddy's nervousness began to subside. He sniffed at Ethan, his tail wagging slightly, as if acknowledging Ethan's efforts to comfort him. As the night grew deeper, Ethan shared stories with Buddy, telling him about his family, his friends, and all the fun things they would do together. Buddy listened intently, his eyes slowly drooping as sleepiness took over. Ethan gently stroked Buddy's, feeling the warmth of his little body. It was a moment of peaceful connection, strengthening the bond that had begun to form earlier in the day. Eventually, Ethan fell asleep on the floor next to Buddy. He had intended to return to his bed, but the comfort of being close to his new companion was too reassuring to leave. The quiet of the night enveloped them, a serene backdrop to their new friendship. In the middle of the night, Buddy woke up, feeling restless. Ethan, sensing the movement, woke up as well. He whispered softly to Buddy, patting his bed, inviting him to come closer. Hesitantly, Buddy climbed onto Ethan's bed, curling up beside him. It was a significant moment, marking Buddy's growing trust and affection towards Ethan. The rest of the night passed peacefully, with Ethan and Buddy sleeping soundly, side by side. When morning came, Ethan woke up to find Buddy watching him with bright, curious eyes. The initial uncertainty of the previous night had vanished, replaced by a sense of belonging and companionship. Ethan's parents peeked into the room and smiled at the sight of Ethan and Buddy together. They knew that this was the beginning of a beautiful friendship, one that would bring joy, learning, and growth to both Ethan and Buddy. As Ethan got ready for the day, Buddy followed him around, his tail wagging happily. The first night together had been a success, laying the foundation for the many nights and days they would share in the future. Ethan felt a deep sense of responsibility and love for Buddy, ready to embark on the journey of friendship that lay ahead. Chapter 2: Learning and Growing. The first few weeks with Buddy were a learning curve for Ethan. He quickly realized that having a pet was not just about playtime and meals. It came with a set of responsibilities that were both challenging and rewarding. Ethan started his mornings earlier, unusual to take Buddy for a walk. The crisp morning air was refreshing, and watching Buddy explore the world with wide-eyed wonder was a delight. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Buddy was still learning to walk on the leash, and it often tug and pull in excitement, making the walks a bit chaotic. Feeding Buddy was another area where Ethan learned the importance of routine and discipline. He had to measure Buddy's food, ensure he had fresh water, and feed him at regular times. Ethan also learned the hard way that certain feeds were off limits to dogs after Buddy had an upset stomach from sneaking a piece of chocolate. Training Buddy posed its own set of challenges. Ethan read books and watched online videos on puppy training. He spent hours teaching Buddy basic commands like man, state, mit, stay, and am. There were moments of frustration when Buddy wouldn't seem to listen, but Ethan learned to be patient and consistent with his training. One of the biggest lessons came in the form of grooming. Poodles required regular grooming, and Ethan took on the task of brushing Buddy's fur, cleaning his ears, and ensuring his nails were trimmed. It was during these grooming sessions that Ethan and Buddy shared quiet moments, strengthening their bond. Ethan observed his growing sense of responsibility with pride. They helped when needed, but mostly allowed Ethan to take the lead in caring for Buddy. This experience taught Ethan about commitment, patience, and the joy of taking care of someone else. Despite the challenges, Ethan wouldn't have it any other way. Each hurdle was a learning opportunity, and every small victory with Buddy was a cause for celebration. The experience of caring for Buddy not only brought joy and laughter into their home, but also instilled in Ethan a sense of maturity and confidence. As the weeks passed, Ethan and Buddy settled into a comfortable routine. They grew to understand each other better, and their connection deepened. Ethan realized that Buddy was not just a pet. He was a family member, a friend who had depended on him, and he was determined to be the best pet owner he could be. Training Buddy became a central part of Ethan's daily routine. He quickly learned that training a puppy required a blend of patience, consistency, and lots of treats. Ethan dedicated a part of each day to training sessions, determined to teach Buddy the basic commands and good behavior. The early days of training were a mix of successes and setbacks. Buddy, with his playful and sometimes stubborn demeanor, didn't always follow instructions immediately. He would get distracted by a passing butterfly or new scent in the garden, leaving Ethan feeling a bit exasperated. Ethan turned to online resources for guidance. He watched training videos, read articles, and even joined online forums where he could ask questions and share experiences with other pet owners. This research helped Ethan understand the importance of positive reinforcement and patience in dog training. He started using treats to encourage Buddy, rewarding him whenever he followed a command. This method proved effective, and soon Buddy was responding more consistently. The first time Buddy sat on command, his heart swelled with pride. It was a small achievement, but a significant one in their training journey. Ethan also learned the importance of short, consistent training sessions. Instead of overwhelming Buddy with long and tedious sessions, he kept them short and fun. This approach kept Buddy engaged and eager to learn. As weeks passed, Buddy mastered basic commands like "man, money, home," and "heal." Ian introduced new challenges, like fetching a ball or navigating simple obstacles in the yard. These activities not only reinforced Buddy's training, but also provided them with a fun way to spend time together. The training sessions were more than just about teaching Buddy. There were opportunities for Ethan and Buddy to bond. Ethan learned to understand Buddy's cues and behavior, and Buddy grew to trust and respond to Ethan's guidance. This mutual understanding deepened their connection. Ethan's patience and perseverance in training Buddy paid off. Not only did Buddy become well-behaved, but the training process also taught Ethan valuable life skills. He learned about responsibility, the importance of clear communication, and the satisfaction of seeing his efforts bear fruit. Buddy's successful training was a testament to Ethan's commitment and love for his pet. It was a journey yet brought them closer, building a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. But as the days turned into weeks, the bond between Ethan and Buddy grew stronger. It was not just the time spent in training or walks that deepened their connection, but also the quiet moments they shared. The bond they were forming was one of trust, companionship, and unconditional love. Ethan started to understand Buddy's nonverbal cues and body language. He could tell when Buddy was hungry, needed to go outside, or simply wanted to play. Similarly, Buddy began to pick up on Ethan's routines and moods. He would greet Ethan enthusiastically when he returned from school and stay close by his side when he sensed Ethan was having a tough day. The bond was evident in their daily activities. During their walks, Buddy would stay close to Ethan, occasionally looking up at him, as if to ensure he was still there. In the evenings, Buddy would curl up next to Ethan on the couch as he did his homework or watched television. It was as if they had developed their own language, a way of communicating and understanding each other without words. Ethan also discovered the comforting presence Buddy provided. On days when things didn't go well at school, or when he felt lonely, Buddy's cheerful demeanor and affectionate nuzzles were a source of comfort and joy. Ethan realized that Buddy was not just a pet, but a true friend who offered unconditional love and support. Their bond was also strengthened through play. Ethan and Buddy would spend hours in the backyard playing fetch or tug-of-war. These playful moments were filled with laughter and happiness, creating memories that had been cherished deeply. Buddy's playful energy was infectious, and even on his busiest days, Ethan made time for these play sessions, understanding their importance in maintaining their bond. Parents noticed the profound impact Buddy had on Ethan. He was more responsible, empathetic, and generally happier. They saw how caring for Buddy had taught Ethan important life lessons about compassion, patience, and the joy of taking care of another being. The bond between Ethan and Buddy was also a source of comfort for the entire family. Buddy had become an integral part of their lives, bringing them together in ways they hadn't anticipated. Whether it was a family walk with Buddy, or just cuddling with him on the sofa, these moments brought warmth and closeness to their family. As they continued to grow and learn together, the bond between Ethan and Buddy became a testament to the power of friendship and the special connection that can exist between this dog. It was a bond that would continue to evolve and deepen, shaping both their lives in profound ways. An important milestone in Ethan and Buddy's journey was their first visit to the veterinarian. It was a new experience for both of them, one that taught Ethan more about responsibility and care for his brave friend. A few weeks after Buddy's arrival, insurance Kellen scheduled checkup for Buddy at the local veterinary clinic. Ethan was both curious and a bit anxious about the visit. He had heard stories about pets being nervous at the vet, and he wanted to make sure Buddy would be comfortable and safe. On the day of the appointment, Ethan prepared a small bag with Buddy's favorite toy and some treats. He wanted to have something familiar to comfort Buddy if he got scared. On the car ride over, Buddy sat in Ethan's lap, looking out the window with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. At the vet's office, Ethan held Buddy close, reassuring him with gentle strokes in soft words. The waiting room was filled with other pets and their owners, which seemed to intrigue Buddy. Ethan noticed how Buddy's initial nervousness eased as he sniffed around and even interacted with a friendly cat. When their turn came, Ethan walked with Buddy into the examination room. And vet, the kind woman with a gentle voice, greeted them warmly. She took her time to get to know Buddy, allowing him to sniff her and get comfortable before she began the examination. Ethan watched intently as the vet checked Buddy's eyes, ears, and teeth, and listened to his heart. He asked questions about Buddy's diet, exercise, and behavior, eager to learn as much as he could about taking care of his poodle. The vet was patient and informative, offering advice on everything from nutrition to grooming to training. One of the important lessons Ethan learned during the visit was the importance of preventive care. The vet explained the schedule for vaccinations, the need for regular checkups, and how to spot signs of illness. This information was invaluable to Ethan, who was determined to keep Buddy healthy and happy. Buddy, meanwhile, handled the visit like a champ. He was calm and cooperative, earning praises from the vet and some extra treats, which made Ethan proud. The visit ended with Buddy getting a clean bill of health and a new toy from the vet as a reward for his good behavior. On the drive home, Ethan felt a sense of accomplishment. The vet visit had been a success, and he had learned a lot about pet care. It was another step in his journey with Buddy, reinforcing the commitment he had made to take care of his beloved pet. A visit to the vet was more than just a routine checkup. It was a learning experience for Ethan. It taught him about the responsibilities of pet ownership and the importance of being proactive and caring for Buddy's health. It was a reassuring reminder that with love, care, and the right guidance, he could ensure a happy and healthy life for his very best friend. A few months into his journey with Buddy, Ethan encountered his first major challenge. Buddy, usually energetic and playful, suddenly became lethargic and lost his appetite. Ethan was immediately concerned. This was not the Buddy he knew. He remembered the vet's advice about watching for signs of illness and knew he had to act fast. Ethan informed his parents and they quickly arranged a visit to the vet. The car ride to the clinic was tense, with Ethan holding Buddy in his arms trying to comfort him. At the vet, they discovered that Buddy had eaten something he shouldn't have during one of their walks. and was now suffering from a mild case of food poisoning. The vet assured them that with proper care, Buddy would recover soon. She prescribed some medication and gave instructions on how to care for Buddy during his recovery. Ethan listened attentively, determined to nurse Buddy back to health. Back at home, Ethan took up the role of Buddy's caretaker. He followed the vet instructions meticulously, ensuring Buddy took his medication and stayed hydrated. Ethan also prepared bland, easy-to-digest meals to ease Buddy back into eating. He spent nights by Buddy's side, soothing him and making sure he was comfortable. This experience was a significant test of Achan's responsibility and compassion. He had to balance his schoolwork and other activities with caring for Buddy. It was exhausting and at times overwhelming. But Ethan didn't waver in his commitment to Buddy's recovery. His efforts paid off. Slowly, Buddy began to regain his strength and appetite. His tail started wagging again, and he resumed his playful antics. Seeing Buddy bounce back filled Ethan with a sense of relief and accomplishment. He had helped his friend through a tough time, reinforcing the bond between them. This incident also taught Ethan the importance of being vigilant about Buddy's environment and what he had access to during their walks. He became more careful, ensuring Buddy's safety became a priority during their outdoor activities. The experience of overcoming this first major hurdle with Buddy was a pivotal moment for Ethan. Ethan's understanding of the responsibilities involved in caring for another life. He learned valuable lessons in pet care, empathy, and resilience. Most importantly, it underscored the depth of his attachment to Buddy, reaffirming his commitment to being the best pet owner he could be. For Buddy, the ordeal showed him that Ethan was his protector and caregiver, someone who would be there for him through thick and thin. The trust and love between them grew stronger, forging an unbreakable bond that would carry them through future challenges and adventures. After overcoming the hurdle of Buddy's illness, Ethan and Buddy's playtime took on a new level of significance. It was not just a way to expend Buddy's abundant energy, but a celebration of his recovery and their enduring friendship. Playtime became a daily ritual that both Ethan and Buddy looked forward to with great enthusiasm. Ethan discovered that playtime was also an excellent opportunity for learning and bonding. He introduced new games and activities that challenged both Buddy's mind and body. They tried agility training, setting up a simple obstacle course in the backyard. Ethan watched with pride as Buddy navigated through hoops, tunnels, and over small hurdles. It was a delightful spectacle that showcased Buddy's intelligence and agility. On weekends, Ethan and Buddy explored the outdoors. They went on hikes in the nearby hills where Buddy could run freely, chase leaves, and explore the natural world. Ethan found joy in witnessing Buddy's unbridled happiness in these open spaces. These adventures strengthened their bond and provided Ethan with a sense of escape and connection to nature. Another favorite activity was playing fetch in the park. Ethan would throw a ball or frisbee, and Buddy would dash after it with incredible speed and agility. The excitement and concentration on Buddy's face as he ran after the flying disc brought immense joy to Ethan. These moments were filled with laughter and cheers, often attracting the attention of other park goers who would stop to watch their impressive teamwork. Ethan also learned the value of quiet play. On rainy days, they would stay indoors, playing gentle tug-of-war or searching for hidden treats. These calm moments were just as important, providing a space for gentle interaction and mutual understanding. Playtime also offered Ethan a chance to unwind and take a break from his daily routines. It was a time when he could be carefree, forgetting about schoolwork and other responsibilities. In these moments, Ethan felt a deep sense of happiness and contentment, grateful for Buddy's presence in his life. Buddy, in turn, thrived on attention and activity. He became more confident and well-rounded, his personality shining through in every game they played. Ethan could see how these activities enriched Buddy's life, keeping him healthy, engaged, and happy. Through play, Ethan and Buddy developed a language of their own, a way of communicating through action and emotion. It was a language of mutual respect, understanding, and joy. Playtime wasn't just fun. It was a fundamental part of their relationship, a testament to their friendship and the love they shared. As Chapter 2 came to a close, Ethan reflected on the growth and learning both he from overcoming challenges to enjoying the simple joys of play. Their journey together was shaping up to be an adventure full of learning, and laughter. Chapter 3: Adventures and Misadventures. Several months had passed since Betty joined Ethelman's family. As spring arrived, bringing with it warmer weather and blooming flowers, Ethan decided to take Buddy on a special outing to the large sea park. He planned a day filled with exploration and fun, a way to celebrate the beautiful day and their growing bond. The park was a vast expanse of green lawns, colorful flower beds, and winding paths. It also boasted a large pond, playgrounds, and an area designated for dogs. Ethan packed a picnic basket with sandwiches, fruits, and some dog treats for Buddy. With a frisbee and a ball in his backpack, Ethan was ready for their adventure. As they arrived, Buddy's excitement was palpable. His eyes sparkled with curiosity, and his tail wagged uncontrollably. They started with a leisurely walk around the pond, watching ducks glide across the water. Ethan threw small pieces of bread into the pond, and he and Buddy watched the ducks flock towards the treats. It was a peaceful, serene moment, and Ethan felt a deep connection with nature and his fur companion. Next, they ventured to the dog area, where Buddy had the opportunity to interact with other dogs. Ethan was initially apprehensive, wondering how Buddy would react to so many new faces. But to his delight, Buddy was sociable and playful, mingling with the other dogs with ease. Ethan chatted with other dog owners, exchanging stories and tips on pet care. It was a lovely community experience, and Ethan felt a sense of belonging. After some time, Ethan and Buddy found a quiet spot under a large oak tree for their picnic. As they ate, Ethan watched Buddy lying contentedly on the grass, his eyes following the movements of birds and squirrels. It was a simple joy, but one that filled Ethan's heart with warmth. The highlight of the day came with the frisbee game. Ethan threw the frisbee, and Buddy leapt and ran, catching it mid-air. They played for what seemed like hours, losing track of time in their enjoyment. Buddy's agility and energy were a joy to watch, and Ethan felt a rush of pride and happiness. As the day came to an end and the sun began to set, Ethan and Buddy sat. Ethan reflected on the day's adventures, grateful for the experiences and memories they had created. It was a day that encapsulated the essence of their friendship: fun, freedom, and the joy of being together. Exhausted but content, they made their way home. Buddy dozed off in the car, tired from the day's activities. Ethan smiled, knowing that this was just one of many adventures they would share. The park adventure was a reminder of the beauty of exploration and the special bond they shared, a bond that was only getting stronger with each passing day. A few weeks after the park adventure, Ethan experienced one of his most frightening moments as a pet owner. It was a typical afternoon, and Ethan decided to take Buddy for a walk in their neighborhood. However, what started as a routine walk quickly turned into a distressing ordeal. As they were walking, a loud noise from a nearby construction site startled Buddy. Before Ethan could react, Buddy, frightened, slipped out of his collar and dashed off down the street. Ethan called out and chased after him, but Buddy, driven by fear, disappeared from sight. Panic set in as Ethan searched the neighborhood, calling Buddy's name. He knocked on neighbors' doors asking if they had seen a small poodle running by. Despite their efforts to help, there was no sign of Buddy. Ethan felt a surge of fear and guilt. He should have been more careful. He should have held onto the leash tighter. As the sun began to set, intensified. He imagined Buddy alone and scared, wondering how he would survive the night. And then his parents joined the search, and they posted on social media and contacted local shelters and the police. The night was long and sleepless for Ethan. He blamed himself for Buddy's disappearance and prayed for his safe return. The house felt empty and quiet without Buddy's presence, a stark reminder of what they had lost. The following morning brought a glimmer of hope. A family living a few streets over called, saying they had found a small poodle in their backyard. As a mix of hope and apprehension, Ethan and his parents rushed to the address. When they arrived, Ethan's heart leaped. And there, in the family's backyard, was Buddy. He was dirty and tired, but otherwise unharmed. Ethan called out, and Buddy ran into his arms, whimpering and wagging his tail. The reunion was emotional, with tears and laughter. Ethan hugged Buddy tightly, overwhelmed with relief and joy. The family explained that they had found Buddy hiding under their porch. They had seen the social media post and immediately contacted Ethan's family. Ethan was grateful to them, knowing that their kindness had brought Buddy back home. The incident was a wake-up call for Ethan. He realized the importance of always being vigilant and prepared for unexpected situations. He decided to get Buddy a more secure collar and have him in a shed as a precaution for the future. Buddy's disappearance and return were more than just a scary experience. It was a lesson in responsibility, the importance of community, and the depth of the bond between Ethan and Buddy. The joy of their reunion reaffirmed the special connection they shared, a connection that was strong enough to bring Buddy back home. After the harrowing experience of losing and finding Buddy, Ethan became more involved in the local pet owner community. He realized the importance of having a network of fellow pet lovers for support and advice. This newfound interest led him and Buddy to a local dog park, a place where they could socialize and make new friends. The dog park was a vibrant space, filled with dogs of all sizes and breeds, each with their own unique personality. Buddy, initially hesitant, soon found his stride. He began to interact with the other dogs, engaging in playful chases and sniffing introductions. Ethan watched with a smile, happy to see Betty making friends and enjoying himself. Ethan, too, found camaraderie among the dog owners. He struck up conversations with people who shared his love for pets. They exchanged stories, training tips, and even arranged playdates for their dogs. Ethan learned a lot from these interactions, gaining insights into different aspects of pet care and training. One of the people Ethan met was Mia, a girl his age with a friendly Labrador named Max. Mia and Max quickly became regular companions for Ethan and Buddy during their visits to the park. Mia was knowledgeable about dogs and shared her experiences with Ethan, offering advice on everything from grooming to health care. The friendship between Ethan and Mia grew, bonded over their mutual love for their pets. They planned joint activities like hiking with their dogs or visiting pet-friendly cafes. Buddy and Max also developed a strong bond, eagerly looking forward to their play sessions at the park. The new friendships enriched Ethan's life in many ways. He gained confidence in social settings and developed a deeper understanding of different dog breeds and behaviors. But he benefited too, becoming more socialized and well-adjusted. The dog park became a favorite destination for Ethan and Buddy. It was a place of joy, learning, and friendship. Ethan appreciated the sense of community he found there, a network of people who cared deeply for their pets and were always willing to lend a hand or share advice. Through these new friendships, Ethan realized that being a pet owner was about more than just caring for bedding. It was about being part of a community that shared a common passion for animals. This realization brought a new dimension to his journey with Buddy, one that was more connected and enriched by the shared experiences of others. As autumn approached, bringing with it rain days and cooler temperatures, Ethan and Buddy found new ways to enjoy their time together indoors. Ethan realized that keeping Buddy active and engaged was important, even when they couldn't go outside. He came up with a variety of indoor games and activities to keep Buddy entertained. One of their favorite indoor games was hide and seek. Ethan would hide somewhere in the house, and Buddy would eagerly search for him. The excitement and concentration on Buddy's face as he sniffed around and looked for Ethan were adorable. When Buddy found Ethan, his joy sparking and wagging tail were rewards in themselves. Another game they enjoyed was creating obstacle courses in the living room using cushions, chairs, and blankets. Ethan designed simple courses that Buddy could navigate through, encouraging him to jump over cushions or weave through chair legs. These activities were not only fun, but also helped maintain Buddy's agility and obedience training. Ethan also introduced puzzle toys and treat dispensing games. He would fill toys with treats, and Buddy would have to figure out how to get them out. These games were great for stimulating Buddy's mind and keeping him occupied. Ethan loved watching Buddy's problem-solving skills in action, and Buddy relished the challenge and the tasty rewards. On quieter days, Ethan spent time grooming Buddy. He would brush Buddy's fur, trim his nails, and clean his ears. These grooming sessions were calming for both of them, strengthening their bond. Buddy would lie contentedly in action and lap, enjoying the attention and care. Ethan also used this time to teach Buddy new tricks. They worked on commands like oval, vovo, lay dead and Lance peak. Buddy was a quick learner, and Ethan rewarded him with traits and praise for each new trick mastered. These training sessions were productive and rewarding, enhancing Buddy's skills and obedience. These rainy day activities created special memories for Ethan and Buddy. They brought variety and excitement to the days, proving that fun and learning didn't have to stop due to bad weather. Ethan realized that these moments spent indoors are just as important in fostering their relationship as their outdoor adventures. For Ethan, these indoor playtimes highlighted the adaptability and resilience of their friendship. He learned to make the best of any situation, finding joy and opportunities of growth regardless of the circumstances. For Buddy, it reinforced the security and comfort of his home and the constant presence of his best friend. The rainy days spent indoors were a testament to Ethan and Buddy's strong bond, a bond that thrived in any weather. They showed that with a little creativity and a lot of love, every day could be in the arrival of Buddy's first birthday was a milestone that Ethan was determined to celebrate in style. He wanted to make it a special day, a way to show Buddy how much he was loved and appreciated. Ethan planned a small party, inviting Mia and Max, along with a few other friends from the neighborhood and their pets. The preparation for Buddy's birthday was filled with excitement. Ethan, with the help of his parents, decorated their backyard with balloons and streamers. He set up a small obstacle course for the dogs to play in and prepared a playlist of cheerful music. For Buddy's birthday cake, Ethan researched and baked a dog-friendly cake made with peanut butter, pumpkin, and carrot. He decorated it with a yogurt frosting and a big number 1 on top. He also prepared goodie bags for the canine guests, filled with the treats and toys. As the guests arrived, the backyard buzzed with excitement. The dogs played together, running around and exploring the obstacle course. The humans chatted and laughed, enjoying the festive atmosphere. Buddy was the star of the show, happily greeting each guest and reveling in the attention. When it was time for the cake, Ethan gathered everyone around. He placed the cake on the ground and led everyone in singing the happy birthday Miss Buddy. Buddy's tail wagged furiously as he sniffed the cake, his eyes bright with excitement. Ethan helped him blow out a candle, and then they all watched as Buddy took his first taste of the cake. It was a hit, and soon the other dogs joined in, enjoying their own pieces. Ethan also organized a few fun games for the dogs and their owners. They had a best trick-in contest. You lay ring, da doggy den elf. Everyone participated with enthusiasm, and the air was filled with laughter and cheers. Buddy, with his playful and friendly nature, was at the center of it all, enjoying every moment. As the party came to a close, Ethan felt a sense of contentment. He looked at Buddy, who was now lying contentedly at his feet, tired but happy. Ethan realized how much Buddy had grown and changed since he first came into his life. He was no longer just a pet, and he was a beloved member of the family, a best friend who had brought so much joy and love into their lives. Ethan thanked the guests for coming and for helping to make Buddy's first birthday a memorable one. As they left, they complimented Ethan on the wonderful party and how well he had raised Buddy. Ethan felt a swell of pride, knowing that he had done his best for his furry friend. That night, as Ethan and Buddy curled up together, Ethan reflected on the past year. It had been a journey of growth, learning, and countless joyful moments. Buddy's first birthday was not just a celebration of a year in his life, but a celebration of the journey they had embarked on together, a journey that Ethan looked forward to continuing for many more years. Chapter 4: Challenges and Triumphs. A few weeks after Buddy's birthday celebration, Ethan faced a new challenge when Buddy fell ill. One evening, noticed that Buddy was not his usual energetic self. He was lethargic, refused to eat, and seemed uncomfortable. Concerned, Ethan informed his parents, and they agreed that a visit to the vet was necessary. The next morning, Ethan, with Buddy in his arms, sat anxiously in the waiting room of the veterinary clinic. When it was their turn, the vet examined Buddy thoroughly. After some tests, she diagnosed Buddy with a mild case of gastroenteritis, likely caused by something he ate. Ethan was relieved that it wasn't something more serious, but was still worried. The vet prescribed medication and a special diet for Buddy to help him recover. She explained to Ethan the importance of following the treatment plan and keeping Buddy hydrated and comfortable. Back at home, Ethan took on the role of Buddy's caregiver once again. He carefully administered the medication and prepared the bland diet the vet had recommended. He made a comfortable resting area for Buddy in his room, where he could keep a close eye on him. The next few days were tough for Ethan. He balanced his schoolwork with taking care of Buddy. He missed playing with Buddy in the park and the usual lively interactions. Seeing Buddy so quiet and unwell was heartbreaking for Ethan, but he remained committed to his recovery. Ethan's patience and dedication paid off. Slowly, Buddy began to show signs of improvement. His appetite returned, and he started to regain his strength. Ethan felt a wave of relief and happiness, seeing Buddy getting back to his normal self. This experience was a sobering reminder for Ethan of the responsibilities that came with pet ownership. Taught him about the importance of vigilance regarding Buddy's health and diet. It also showed him the resilience of their bond, how they could weather challenges together. Buddy's illness was a difficult period, but it also brought Ethan and Buddy closer. Ethan's care and attention during this time showed Buddy that he could rely on Ethan for comfort and safety. For Ethan, it reinforced the depth of his affection and commitment to Buddy as Buddy recovered fully. Ethan felt a renewed sense of gratitude for his friend's presence in his life. He realized that every moment with Buddy was precious, and he was determined to make the best of their time together. Buddy's illness was a turning point for Ethan, marking a significant growth in his understanding of responsibility and care. During Buddy's recovery, Ethan learned to manage his time and priorities, ensuring that Buddy's needs were met while keeping up with his own responsibilities. Ethan established a routine for Buddy's care. He administered medication at the prescribed times, prepared special meals to ease Buddy back into eating regular food, and ensured Buddy had plenty of rest. He also kept a close eye on Buddy's behavior and health, watching for any signs of relapse. This experience taught Ethan the importance of being attentive and responsive to the needs of others, especially those who depended on him. He learned to be more patient, empathetic, and nurturing. These were valuable life skills that transcended his relationship with Buddy, impacting how he interacted with family and friends. I found his parents were a constant source of support, guiding him through this challenging time. They were proud to see their son taking his responsibilities seriously and managing them with maturity. This period strengthened the family bond as they all rallied around Betty's recovery. Schoolwork and social activities also had to be balanced with Betty's care. Ethan learned to manage his time more effectively, setting priorities and making sacrifices when necessary. He sometimes missed out on outings with friends or had to stay up late to finish homework, but he understood these were necessary compromises. Ethan also gained a deeper appreciation for health and well-being, both his own and Buddy's. He became more conscious of Buddy's diet and environment, taking steps to ensure they were conducive to good health. This included researching the best foods for Buddy, maintaining a clean and safe home environment, and ensuring regular exercise once Buddy was fully recovered. Buddy's illness and recovery period were a significant chapter in Ethan's journey as a pet owner. It was a time filled with challenges, but also immense growth and learning. Ethan emerged from this experience more mature, responsible, and aware of the joys and challenges of caring for another living being. For Betty, Ethan's care and attention during this time deepened his trust and affection for Ethan. A bond between them grew stronger, rooted in care, understanding, and unconditional love. Together, they had faced a challenge and come out stronger on the other side. As Buddy gradually recovered from his illness, Ethan noticed a change in both himself and his furry companion. The recovery period was not just about regaining physical health, but also about rediscovering the joy and vitality that characterized their relationship. With each passing day, Buddy's strength and energy returned. He began to show interest in his toys again and engaged in light play. Ethan, mindful of Buddy's recent illness, kept the play sessions short and gentle. He was overjoyed to see Buddy's playful spirit reemerging. Ethan also resumed their training sessions, starting with simple commands to ease Buddy back into the routine. These sessions were therapeutic for both of them, providing a sense of normalcy and progress. Buddy responded well, quickly regaining his previous level of training, and even learning new tricks, which Ethan proudly showed off to his family and friends. Their walks, a cherished part of their daily routine, also resumed. Ethan chose quiet, less crowded paths to ensure Buddy wasn't overwhelmed. These walks were time for reflection and appreciation of the small moments they shared. Watching Buddy sniff around and explore with renewed curiosity brought immense happiness to Ethan. During this recovery period, Ethan became more attuned to Buddy's needs and moods. He learned to read subtle signs of discomfort or tiredness, suggesting their activities accordingly. This deepened understanding and enhanced their bond, making their connection even more profound. But Fannon's parents noticed the positive changes in both Ethan and Buddy. They saw how responsibly Ethan handled Buddy's recovery and how it had matured him. They also observed the renewed energy and happiness in Buddy, reflecting the care and love he received during his illness. The recovery period also brought a renewed appreciation for health and well-being. Ethan made sure Buddy's diet was nutritious and balanced, and kept up with regular vet checkups. He also paid more attention to his own health, understanding that taking care of himself was crucial to being able to care for Buddy. As Buddy fully recovered, Ethan felt a sense of accomplishment and gratitude. He had helped his best friend through a tough time, and in doing so, had strengthened their bond. Her recovery was a testament to their resilience and the power of care and compassion. For Ethan, this experience was more than just about caring for a sick pet. It was a journey of personal growth and learning. It reinforced the values of responsibility, empathy, and unconditional love, values that he would carry with him always. Buddy's recovery was a milestone in their journey together. A chapter that highlighted the challenges and triumphs of pet ownership. It was a reminder of the preciousness of life and the joy of companionship, reinforcing the special bond between Ethan and Buddy. Several months after Buddy's recovery, Ethan learned about a local dog show being organized in their community. It was a fun, casual event aimed at celebrating the bond between owners and their dogs. Encouraged by his parents and friends, Ethan decided to enter the show with Buddy. Ethan saw this as an opportunity to showcase the training and skills they had worked on together. He also thought it would be a fun experience for both of them, regardless of the outcome. In the weeks leading up to the show, Ethan and Buddy spent extra time practicing. They refined Buddy's obedience commands and worked on a few tricks that Ethan thought would impress the judges and audience. As the day of the dog show approached, Ethan felt a mix of excitement and nerves. He prepared a small routine for Buddy, incorporating tricks like glow over, dagger, and a unique one where Buddy would bend on his hind legs. They also worked on Buddy's socialization skills, ensuring he would be comfortable and well-behaved around other dogs and people. On the day of the dog show, Ethan and Buddy arrived at the community park where it was being held. There were various categories in the show, including obedience, agility, and a trick competition. Ethan had entered Buddy in the obedience and trick categories. The park was bustling with activity, filled with dogs of all breeds and their enthusiastic owners. Ethan felt a sense of community and camaraderie as he interacted with fellow participants, sharing stories and tips. When it was their turn for the obedience category, Ethan led Buddy through the basic commands in front of the judges. Buddy performed flawlessly, responding to commands with precision and eagerness. The audience applauded their performance, and Ethan felt a surge of pride. Next was the trick competition. Ethan and Buddy's routine was a hit, eliciting cheers and laughter from the audience. Buddy's dance on his hind legs was the highlight, showcasing not only his training, but the fun and loving relationship he shared with Ethan. Though they didn't win first place in either category, Ethan felt like they had achieved something far more significant. They had worked together, enjoyed the experience, and demonstrated the strength of their bond. For Ethan, the real triumph was in participating and enjoying the journey, not in the accolades or prizes. A dog show was a memorable experience for Ethan and Buddy. It was an opportunity to connect with others who shared their love for dogs and to celebrate the unique qualities of each pet. For Ethan, it was a reaffirmation of the special connection he shared with Buddy, a connection built on mutual respect, love, and joy. As they left the park, Ethan felt grateful for the experience. It had brought them closer and given them wonderful memories to cherish. The dog show was more than a competition. It was a celebration of the bond between humans and their canine companions, a bond that Ethan and Buddy epitomized in every way. The dog show, although not resulting in a first plaque trophy, brought Ethan and Buddy something more valuable than any prize. In the days following the event, Ethan reflected on what they had gained from the experience. It wasn't just about showcasing Buddy's training or their ability to perform in front of an audience. It was about the deeper understanding and connection they had developed. Ethan realized that the true victory was in the journey they had shared preparing for the dog show. The extra hours spent training, the patience and mutual understanding they had cultivated, and the joy of working together towards a common goal were the real rewards. These were the moments that truly defined their relationship. The dog show also brought a new level of confidence in both Ethan and Buddy. Ethan saw how well Buddy adapted to new environments and how eagerly he participated in the activities. This boosted Ethan's confidence in Buddy's socialization and training. For Buddy, the positive experiences at the dog show reinforced his trust in Ethan and his comfort in social settings. Additionally, the feedback and encouragement they received from other participants and the judges were heartening. People complimented Buddy's demeanor and Ethan's handling skills, acknowledging the strong bond between them. This external recognition was affirming and motivating, pushing Ethan to continue exploring and nurturing his relationship with Buddy. The experience also expanded their social circle. Ethan made connections with other dog owners and trainers who shared similar interests and passions. These new friendships opened doors to more shared experiences and learning opportunities, enriching their lives further. In the weeks that followed, Ethan found himself more attuned to Buddy's needs and responses. He became more proactive in seeking out activities that would be enjoyable and beneficial for both of them. Whether it was a new training challenge, a hike in a different part of the countryside, or just a quiet evening spent together, every moment was cherished. Ethan's parents observed the positive changes in their son and his pet. They saw how the experience had matured Ethan, making him more responsible, empathetic, and self-assured. Buddy, too, seemed more content and well-adjusted, clearly thriving under Ethan's care. The lessons learned and the growth experienced time were significant. Ethan realized that the true prize was the unbreakable bond he shared with Buddy. It was a bond that transcended competitions and accolades. The dog show was more than just an event. It was a milestone by Ethan and Buddy's journey together. It highlighted their achievements, the challenges they had overcome, and the unspoken promise of many more adventures to come. As the year drew to a close, the festive season brought a sense of joy and anticipation to Ethan's home. It was to be Buddy's first holiday, spent with the family, and Ethan was excited to share these special moments with him. The house was decorated with lights and ornaments, a warm and welcoming atmosphere permeating every room. Ethan involved Buddy in the holiday preparations, making sure he was part of the family activities. They picked out a special ornament together for the tree, a small poodle figurine, which Ethan hung with pride. He also helped Buddy print his paw print on some homemade holiday cards, adding a personal touch to the family's season's greetings. One of the highlights of the season was the evening, baking dog-friendly holiday treats. Ethan found recipes for biscuits made with peanut butter and pumpkin, and he and Buddy spent an enjoyable evening in the kitchen. Buddy was a curious and eager assistant, watching Ethan intently and waiting patiently for the chance to taste the treats. As Christmas approached, Ethan wrapped a few gifts for Buddy, including a new cozy bed and some toys. He placed them under the tree, and Buddy sniffed them with curiosity and excitement. Ethan couldn't wait to see Buddy's reaction on Christmas morning. On Christmas Day, the family gathered to open presents. Buddy's excitement was palpable as he tore into his gifts with Ethan's help. His joyful barks and wagging tail added to the festive cheer. It was heartwarming to see the happiness and love Buddy brought to the family celebration. That evening, as they sat down for the holiday meal, Buddy had a special place at the table. Ethan had prepared a small plate of dog-friendly food for him, ensuring he was included in the family feast. Buddy sat quietly, enjoying his meal in the company of his family. The holiday season was also a time for reflection. Ethan thought about the year they had spent together, the challenges they had faced, and the growth they had experienced. It had been a year of learning, laughter, and love. Buddy had become an integral part of the family, bringing joy and companionship to their lives. As I watched the snow fall gently outside the window, Ethan felt a deep sense of gratitude for Buddy's presence in his life. He realized that the greatest gift of all was the bond they shared. It was a bond that had grown stronger with each passing day. The holiday season with Buddy was more than a series of festive activities. It was a celebration of a journey together. It marked the end of a significant year in their lives, and the promise of many more to come. For Ethan, it was a reminder of the joy and fulfillment that came from caring for and loving Buddy, his faithful companion and friend. Chapter 5. Growing Up Together. As the new year began, Ethan reflected on the journey he and Buddy had shared so far. It was a journey filled with ups and downs, joys and challenges, but above all, it was a journey of growth and learning. Ethan realized that the experiences he had with Buddy had taught him invaluable lessons he was eager to share with others. One of the most significant lessons was the importance of responsibility. Caring for Buddy had taught Ethan about commitment and the responsibility of looking after another life. He learned to prioritize Buddy's needs, from feeding and grooming to ensuring his health and well-being. This sense of responsibility extended beyond Buddy, influencing a friend's approach to his own life, his family, and his community. Patience was another key lesson. Training and caring for Buddy, especially during his illness, required patience and understanding. Ethan learned to be patient not only with Buddy, but also with himself, understanding that growth and change take time. Ethan also learned about unconditional love and companionship. Buddy's presence offered comfort and joy during both good times and bad. Ethan realized the power of a bond that was based on love, trust, and mutual respect. This understanding deepened his relationships with family and friends, making him more empathetic and compassionate. Additionally, advanced experiences with Buddy taught him the value of resilience and adaptability. They had faced various challenges, from Buddy's illness to adapting to indoor activities during bad weather. These experiences taught Ethan to be resilient in the face of difficulties and to adapt to changing circumstances. Eager to share these lessons, Ethan started volunteering at a local animal shelter. He shared his experiences with other pet owners, offering advice and support. He also spoke at his school about responsible pet ownership, hoping to inspire his peers to understand the commitment involved in caring for a pet. Ferdinand's journey with Buddy also influenced his aspirations. He began to consider careers that involved working with animals, such as veterinary medicine or animal behavior. Buddy had opened a new world of possibilities for Ethan, guiding him towards a future that he could continue to make a difference in the lives of animals. The lessons learned and shared were an integral part of Ethan and Buddy's story. They were lessons that shaped Ethan's character and outlook on life, guiding him towards a path of responsibility and love. As Ethan looked forward to the future, he knew that whatever it held, the journey with Buddy would continue to be a source of learning and inspiration. As the summer came to an end and a new school year approached, Ethan faced the challenge of balancing his responsibilities towards Buddy with his academic commitments. Their lax summer schedule had given Ethan ample time with Buddy, but now he needed to establish a new routine that accommodated his schoolwork and ensured Buddy's needs were met. Ethan sat down with his parents to discuss a plan. They agreed that maintaining a consistent routine was important for both Ethan and Buddy. They decided that Ethan would wake up earlier in the morning to take Buddy for a walk. This would ensure Buddy got his exercise and Ethan had a fresh start to his day. After school, Ethan dedicated time to play and train with Buddy. This was not only a way to relax after a day at school, but also an opportunity to strengthen their bond and keep Buddy active and engaged. Ethan also set aside time in the evenings to focus on his homework, while Buddy rested by his side, a comfort and quiet presence. Weekends were reserved for longer activities like hikes or visits to the dog park. These were times for Ethan and Buddy to unwind and enjoy extended periods together. Friends also pitched in, helping with Buddy's care when Ethan's schoolwork was demanding, ensuring a balanced approach. This new routine taught Ethan important time management skills. He learned to prioritize tasks, balance his responsibilities, and make the most of his time. It was a delicate balance, but Ethan was committed to ensuring both his and Buddy's needs were met. But adapted well to the new routine. He seemed to understand Ethan's schedule, patiently waiting for their time together. This adaptability was a testament to the strong bond they shared, a bond based on mutual understanding and respect. Ethan also found that this structured routine helped him in his academic work. He was more focused and efficient, knowing he had responsibilities to fulfill. Buddy's presence was a motivating factor, a reminder of the importance of discipline and commitment. A new school routine was a significant step in Ethan and Buddy's journey. It reflected Ethan's growth in balancing different aspects of his life and his commitment to being a responsible pet owner. Her Buddy had reinforced the stability and love in his environment, essential for his well-being. As Ethan navigated his academic year, he did so with the knowledge that Buddy was a supportive and integral part of his life. The routine they established was more than just a schedule. It was a reflection of our intertwined lives, growing and evolving together. Midway through the school year at 10, Tess was assigned a project on the impact of pets in our lives. Ethan saw this as a perfect opportunity to share his experiences with Buddy. With his teacher's permission, he planned a surprise visit to the school with Buddy. The day of the presentation, Ethan was buzzing with excitement. He prepared a talk about the responsibilities and joys of pet ownership, emphasizing how Buddy had impacted his life. He included lessons on empathy, responsibility, and unconditional love that he had learned from his time with Buddy. As Ethan entered the classroom with Buddy, the reaction was instantaneous. The faces lit up with joy and surprise. Buddy, well-behaved and friendly, greeted the students with gentle tail wags and allowed them to pet him. Janu's teacher was impressed by how well-trained and calm Buddy was, making him the perfect guest. Brenna's presentation was engaging and heartfelt. He spoke about their adventures, the challenges they overcame, and how Buddy had become an integral part of his family. He showed pictures and videos of their time together, including the training sessions and playtimes. The students were captivated by the story. They asked numerous questions about Buddy and pet care, showing a keen interest in the topic. Ethan answered each question with enthusiasm, happy to share his knowledge and experiences. But the highlight of the visit was when Ethan demonstrated some of Buddy's training. Buddy flawlessly followed Ethan's commands, showcasing their strong bond and the results of their consistent training. The students clapped and cheered, deeply impressed by Buddy's skills and their teamwork. This experience was not only enjoyable for the students, but also incredibly rewarding for Ethan. It reaffirmed his bond with Buddy and highlighted the positive influence pets can have in people's lives. Ethan felt proud to share the lessons and joys that came with being a pet owner. For Buddy, the visit was an adventure, and his behavior exemplified the benefits of good training and socialization. It was a testament to the hard work and dedication Ethan had put into raising him. The surprise visit to the school was a memorable day for Ethan, Buddy, and the students. It was an opportunity to educate others about responsible pet ownership and to showcase the special bond between humans and their pets. For Ethan, it reinforced his passion for animals and his desire to advocate for their well-being. The time Ethan spent with Buddy brought a deeper understanding and appreciation to the concept of friendship. It wasn't just the playful and joyful moments that defined their relationship, but also the support and comfort that provided each other during challenging times. Ethan began to see Buddy not just as a pet, but as a true friend. This realization expanded Ethan's perspective on friendship in general. He began to value the qualities of loyalty, patience, and unconditional support in his human friendships as well. Ethan found himself applying the lessons learned from his relationship with Buddy to his interactions with friends and family. He became more empathetic, understanding, and supportive. Ethan also recognized the importance of nonverbal communication in building strong relationships. Just as he had learned to understand Buddy's needs and emotions without words, he became more attentive to the unspoken cues of those around him. This heightened awareness improved his ability to connect with others on a deeper level. Through Buddy, Ethan also experienced the joy of companionship that transcends differences. Buddy's unwavering presence provided a sense of stability and comfort in Ethan's life, something he valued immensely. This companionship was a constant reminder of the simple joys in life, encouraging Ethan to cherish the moments he spent with family and friends. Ethan's friendships at school and in his neighborhood were also influenced by his experiences with Buddy. He became more outgoing and willing to share his experiences and knowledge about pet care. His friends were drawn to his genuine nature, and his interesting stories about Buddy. Ethan found himself at the center of a community of friends who shared his love for animals and appreciated his insights. In addition, Edmund's relationship with Buddy helped him navigate the ups and downs of adolescence. Buddy was a source of comfort during times of stress or disappointment. Whether it was a tough day at school or a personal challenge, Buddy was there, offering silent support and a listening ear. This unconditional acceptance was a powerful source of strength for Ethan. The importance of friendship, as learned through his journey with Buddy, became a guiding principle in Ethan's life. It taught him to be a better friend, to value the connections he had, and to always be there for others, just as Buddy was there for him. This understanding of friendship was a gift that enriched Ethan's life in countless ways, shaping him into a compassionate and caring individual. As Ethan looked towards the future, he knew that the lessons learned from his friendship with Buddy would continue to influence his relationships and his approach to life. The bond they shared was a testament to the enduring power of friendship and the positive impact they can have on one's life. As the chapter of Buddy's first year with Ethan came to a close, Ethan took a moment to reflect on their journey together. It had been a year of significant growth, learning, and unforgettable experiences. Each step up the way, from the day Buddy arrived as a birthday surprise to their everyday adventures, had shaped both their lives profoundly. Looking back, Ethan realized how much Buddy had changed him. He had learned to be more responsible, patient, and empathetic. The challenges they faced, whether it was Buddy's illness or adapting to a new routine, taught Ethan valuable life lessons. He learned about resilience, the importance of adaptation, and the strength that comes from facing challenges head-on. Ethan also reflected on the joy and happiness Buddy brought into his life. From their playful moments in the park to the quiet companionship at home, Buddy was a constant source of love and comfort. The bond they had built was unbreakable, founded on mutual trust and affection. Looking forward, Ethan was excited about what the future held. He envisioned more adventures with Buddy, exploring new places and continuing their training and learning journey. Ethan also saw a future where he could channel his love for animals into a career inspired by his experiences with Buddy, when his aspirations were now intertwined with the lessons he learned from Buddy. He wanted to advocate for responsible pet ownership and animal welfare, sharing his knowledge and experiences with others. He also dreamed of volunteering and working with animals, making a positive impact in their lives. The future also held the promise of continued personal growth for Ethan. He was eager to apply the lessons learned from his journey with Buddy to all aspects of his life, from building stronger relationships with family and friends to pursuing his academic and career goals. Ethan felt prepared and inspired. As Ethan and Buddy sat together, looking out at the setting sun, there was a sense of contentment and anticipation. The past year had been a remarkable journey, and the future held the promise of more growth, adventure, and companionship. Ethan understood that the journey with Buddy was about more than just raising a pet. It was a journey of self-discovery, of understanding the depths of friendship, and of learning to appreciate the simple joys of life. With Buddy by his side, Ethan was ready to face whatever the future held. knowing that their bond would continue to be a source of strength and joy.